What's going on, guys? We are back, and it has been a little bit of time since this deck pack was released, but there's a new deck pack. There's this Enchancters Arsenal and Up to Mischief. This looks like a fairy deck. Um, but anyway, I had finals, I had the shop, I had work at my other job, which I worked at Eaton Park. I no longer work there now because I put in my 2 weeks and it's finally over. So I just have the shop and I finished finals, so I should have a lot more time now to record videos and get some more Minecraft stuff up and everything else. The Hearthstone stuff hasn't been coming up as often as I want it to because they keep striking me with copyright claims on them, even though Blizzard says it's okay to upload them. So that's just a whole mess in and of itself that just does not need to be in this video. So we're going to get into these two decks. The first one is the Enchanters Arsenal. Now, again, they are all unlocked. Good buddy of mine bought them for me. So that's awesome because I just did not have the time to sit there and try and play to unlock them. First things first, let's get them by cost. I'm going to cut some lands just to get the rest of the cards in here. And then, there we go. Then we'll up the land count later. So, it's an enchantment themed deck, I'm guessing. Evolving Wilds are probably necessary. I mean, for the most part. It's only going to let you play with one ethereal armor. That seems a little, like, looking at the other decks, like the blue-black one, the reanimator one that we looked at last time, like, has 4 reanimates, and like, they're only going to give you one ethereal armor. Seems a little weird to me. Oh. But this has to be in here in a, enchantment themed deck. This is whenever an opponent casts an instant spell, if he is an enchantment, it becomes a 4/4 ape. It's a little iffy. I'm gonna say no on that one for now. It's one of those things that's very situational. I mean, it could be like turn 7 before it becomes a creature, and it's not a creature when it comes out. But I mean, I don't know what the rest of the deck looks like yet, so he might very well come back in if there aren't a lot of creatures. We got 32 at least right now, so we'll see what happens. Cast a creature spell flying. If it is a spider, or if hidden spider is an enchantment, it becomes a 3/5 spider with reach. Again, very situational, this one much more than this one. A lot of decks have instants. There's gonna be some decks that just don't even play instants. That don't need to. Bequeathal. Enchant creature. Enchant creature dies. You draw 2 cards. That's not bad. They kind of makes it so that your opponent decides whether or not they want to kill your creature. Qasali Pridemage is always just good. He's attacks for 3 for 2 mana. Even if it's just him. And he has a nice benefit of destroying an artifact or an enchantment. Let's see, the enchantment. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card, but you cannot target her with enchantments because she has Shroud. Which is like hexproof, but worse. And it's what hexproof should be because there's no reason that a creature with hexproof should have 18 enchantments on it. So, that's a thing. All of Blossoms enters the battlefield, draw a card. That is an awesome defender. You don't really need to be enchanting this guy, but it's still just... Oh. Excuse me. I am very tired, but... Yeah, the Wall of Blossoms is good. Selling Grove, other enchantments you control have Shroud. Search your library for enchantment card, reveal it, shuffle your library, and put that card on top of it. Sterling Grove. Yeah, I don't mind that. Daybreak Coronet, obviously. Spirit Loop. Deals damage, you gain that much life, is put into the graveyard, return it to its owner's hand. Probably. I'm going to take out pacifisms because journeys are just better. Let's see, Primal Rage. Creatures you control have trample. That's not necessary. Unless you're going up against elves all the time or something that has a lot of creatures. But for the most part, you're just gonna overwhelm them with a gigantic dude. And I would imagine that maybe not. I was gonna say I would imagine that Armadillo Cloak or something is gonna be in here, but it's not. Like it doesn't make sense. Like they overpower some of the other decks so much, and then they're not gonna give this one like Armadillo Cloak. Like really? Whatever. Tap gain X life. No thank you. Unless we have something in here that's like if you have 30 or more life, you win the game. And I'm not seeing anything like that. Nope. No reason that we would be needing to gain a ton of life. So, yeah, those guys come out for sure. Dies, you may gain 3 life. It's a 3/1 for 3 mana. No thank you. We got better creatures in there anyway. Return an enchantment. That's not bad. That at least has an effect. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may draw a card. Yeah. Eternal Witness. Enters battlefield, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Yep. Yamea Enchantress. Enters, gets +1/+1 for each enchantment on the battlefield. That one's not bad either. Yamevaya Enchantress. Mobilization is sick. Soldier creatures have vigilance, and we don't have that many other soldiers because most of them are like human shamans or human druids. Plant walls, cat wizards. So yeah, that's what we have with those. But at least the tokens it puts out are huge, or have vigilance, you know, and then we can make them huge with other enchantments. Doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Return it to its owner's hand. We got 3 removal spells. I think we'll do 2 of these guys. Enchantress's Presence. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. That's not bad. Lore is good. Lore forces people into bad blocking situations. You can throw it on a 1/1 and then swing in for lethal with everybody else and the 1/1, and then they all have to block the 1/1. A Dealer Tutor lets you search for a library and put it into your hand. Or search your library for an enchantment and put it into your hand. False Prophet dies, exile all creatures. That's not bad. You can really pump him up and force someone to just make a really bad, I've got to kill that creature. Or, I mean, you could just block with it and destroy everything on the field. It's not bad. Leyline of Sanctity is in your opening hand. You may begin the game with it on the battlefield. You have hexproof. You have hexproof. How many things target you specifically in this format? Very little bit of dodge and burn. I really think like Chandra's deck, and that's about it. I'm gonna say no to these guys. I'm gonna look at the other decks real quick and see if there's anything huge that targets you. But for the most part, you having a Shroud is not necessary because you can still be attacked. The only thing that it prevents is like direct targets, like target player sacrifices a creature, or it's not like each player sacrifices a creature. So like each and all creatures and like big mass removal spells are still going to target all of your creatures. Marshal's Anthem gets +1/+1. Creatures you control get +1/+1. If you kick it, you can return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield for each time it was kicked. So that's cool. That's a good card. Opal Titan. Whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, if it's an enchantment, he becomes a 4/4 giant creature with protection from each of that spell's colors. That's good. That's much better than the ones we were looking at earlier, because almost everybody's going to be playing creatures. The only deck that I don't think that doesn't play a lot of creatures is the Dodge and Burn that we worked up, and that's our list specifically that's running like 2 creatures and a whole bunch of removal spells. So this guy's good. I like him. Field of Souls. Whenever a non-token creature is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put a 1/1 white spirit creature token onto the battlefield. put into your graveyard from the battlefield. That's not bad. We don't need any more removal spells, especially 4-cost ones. We don't need any flying 3/3s for 5 mana. If we're going to pay 5 mana, it might as well be for a proc blue, proc black, and proc red. Or for this 3/3 flyer that says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you can put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice him unless you sacrifice an enchantment. He's a 9/9 trampler for 5 mana. That is sick. We got a lot of enchantments. We got at least like 32 enchantments because I don't think there's any instance. And if you have Rancor out, it should just combo. You could just Rancor him up, and then as you upkeep, sacrifice Rancor. Rancor goes to your graveyard, returns to your hand. You play Rancor again. So that's why there's not more Rancors in here, obviously. Yeah, I think I'll leave him in there. He's big, he's scary, and he gets the job done. Other permanents you control have hexproof. That is a good card because it removes all of your direct removal. So this is going to stay in here. So if you're playing against a black deck that's running Doomblades, this prevents them from being able to kill your creatures with enchantments. Sigil of the Empty Throne, whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you put a 4/4 White Angel. I play a lot of these enchantments in my commander deck, so I'm familiar with a lot of them. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to its toughness. No thank you. Gigantiform, Kicker, enters the battlefield. If it was kicked, you may search your library for it. Another one I put in the battlefield. I think I'm going to do 2 of these, because the odds of us actually getting all 3 of them going is slim to none, but 2 is helpful. A Martyr's Bond, or another non-land permanent you control, is put into the graveyard from the battlefield. Each opponent sacrifices a permanent that shares a card type with it. So like if you block with a creature, they have to sack a creature. If you block with another creature, they have to sack with a creature, or they have to sack a creature. So it's interesting. It's good. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, review. Like, my concern is that we're just a little top heavy right now, and I don't want to be too top heavy. So I think I'm gonna run 1. Lurking Predators. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it on the battlefield. Otherwise, you may put that card on the bottom of your its owner's library. We have a lot of draw cards already, and this is a mechanic to draw cards basically. It does put out free creatures, but it's very expensive. So I'm going to say no to that, and probably open the vaults as well. Return all artifacts and creature cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under their owner's control. So if we're going up against the mirror, it's just going to hurt like hell. So that brings us down to 70 cards, and we still don't even have enough land in here because we should probably be running like 23-ish. And that gives us 23. Now we want to keep our creatures. So I think I'm going to take out the Spirit Loop. I'm going to take out whenever a non-token creature dies, put a 1/1 out. We don't have that many creatures, so I don't think that's going to help us out very much. We got a lot of 5 drops, but like Gigantiform's good in pairs. I think we're okay there. Maybe go down to 2 journeys. These guys are a little iffy to me. I'm not a huge fan of them because you can't target them. And just 0/1s. You cast an enchantment spell, you draw a card. They're not bad. Let's see. We got like 9 cards to get rid of. I think 4 of those guys is a little much, because we're not going to have a ton of enchantments out at any one time. Our goal is to pump things. So like there might be like 4 or 5 enchantments out at a time. Like at the absolute like pinnacle of our winning, there should be 5-ish. This is an enchantment. It says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, draw a card. Enchant creature is an 8/8 and has trample. I'm gonna get rid of these. The odds of us actually casting those for kicker is ridiculous, and I mean, maybe I'll leave one in. I mean, it'll be sick that the one time that you ever actually have the 9 mana to kick it, to grab 2, so we'll leave 2 in there. We got a lot of 3 drops, so I'm gonna say, let's see. When you cast enchantment, draw a card. This one is whenever you cast an enchantment, draw a card. And this one can be targeted, and that one cannot. And I'm gonna cut down to 2 of those guys. Let's see. Our 1-drops are relatively solid. Yeah, I'm happy with those, but none of them are actually ever going to be played on turn 1. So that's another downfall. Wall of Blossoms, you're going to need some time to set up all of your enchantments. Especially because a lot of them aren't like auras, a lot of them are enchantments. So Wall of Blossoms lets you get there, so I'm definitely not taking those out. Shackles isn't bad. That leaves 4 removal spells. I think Lore is cute. I don't know if it's good enough. So I think we'll take out a Lore. I think we'll take out... I want to get rid of some of the 5-drops. Now we're not going to have a ton of creatures, so I think I'm going to take him out. Like, I want to try and get our curve a little bit more. Like, I want us to curve out at 3 and not peak back up at 5. But these guys are too good. These guys absolutely have to stay in. These guys are good enough to stay in. I think everything else has to stay in from that side. I like the False Prophets because they're removal spells. This is a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to get rid of the Sterling Grove. Well, I don't know. So I'm going to get rid of the Sterling Grove. But it's actually really good. I think we'll get rid of the Bequeathal, because technically it's really only draw 1 card, because the enchantment counts as a card, so it really only puts you up 1 card. As far as card advantage is concerned, they use something to kill a creature dies, and it's only when the enchanted creature dies. It's not if the enchantment's destroyed. So I think that's one of the cards we'll get rid of. And then we got 23 lands, and I like that. What else do we want to remove? We need 3 cards to get rid of. Let's see. I like Shackle because it's like removal, just instant removal. Like if someone attacks you with something big and you can't, like it just returns to your hand. You're like, okay, well we'll just put Shackle on this guy now. 63 cards. Oh, this is tough. This is a good sturdy deck. I mean, maybe we just want to. Well, I like the Martyr's Bond, just the one of Martyr's Bond. I think I like one of Gigantiform. As fun as it would be to do 2, I don't think we can do 2. And then we need 2 more cards to get rid of, and they should not be creatures. They should be enchantments or something else. We'll get rid of the Ornamencer because we already have the Eternal Witnesses. I think that'll be okay. And we'll get rid of one of these ones because we can't actually target it. And that still leaves us with 5 creatures that have, or 5 ways to draw cards when we play enchantments. I think I like that list. I think I like that. I could run 24 lands, and it might be a little bit smoother. It's recommending 24. We're going to go to 24. I'm going to get rid of the Enchanters' Presences. Just because we still have 4 other ways to do it, and one of our creatures has Shroud with it, and the other one we can actually target with stuff. So I think that's what we want to do. We've got a lot of ways to get card advantage here. So let's look at the list real quick. We've got 4 Evolving Wilds, 1 Ethereal Armor, 1 Rancor, 2 Qasali Pride Mage, 2 Argothian Enchantress, 3 Wall of Blossoms, 1 Sterling Grove, 1 Daybreak Coronet, 2 Journey to Nowhere, 2 Viridian Enchantress, 2 Eternal Witness, 2 Yamavaya Enchantress, 1 Mobilization, 2 Shackles, 1 Idyllic Tutor, 2 False Prophets, 2 Marshal's Anthem, 1 Opal Titan, 2 Oversoul of Dusk, 2 Endless Worm, 1 Privileged Position, 1 Sigil of the Empty Throne, 1 Gigantiform, and 1 Martyr's Bond. Alright, let's do it. So let's get into a custom match real quick with it. We'll give this one a shot. I probably won't do a whole lot with it. Ultimately, I just want to get the video out there and give you guys what I'm thinking as far as the decks go and whatnot. And this is not a bad hand. We can definitely keep this hand, especially with us going first. Get a Wall of Blossoms out there nice and early. And then we'll do the other deck next. I think I'm going to just do 2 videos for these guys. Just one for this one and one for the next one. Because they've been so delayed. So like I don't want to do too long with it. And it has been a long time since I've played Magic, so like this game Magic. Wall of Blossoms. Just telegraphs exactly what deck we're playing, but getting the 0/4 Defender out there before we get anything else out is awesome. Then we'll get the Shroud 0/1 out, and then we'll give everybody +1. +1, if we even need to. So this is the other enchantment deck. So this is enchantments on enchantments. I think their enchantments are better than ours. Let's sack this guy for a Plains. And we'll play that guy. And we'll end our turn. That's just whenever we cast an enchantment spell, that guy gets bigger for each aura attached to it. +1/+1 proc creatures. So it's a 3/3. 3/5. 3/5 proc creatures. So he can hit me for 3 now. That's fine. We'll see what we draw. I don't really want to, I don't think I have much of an option. I think I have to cast Marshal's Anthem now to draw the card. The Sigil is sick. And then we'll swing in for 1. Because he can attack and the Wall of Blossoms cannot. Basically what we need to do is we just need to get as many enchantments out as possible and try and draw into one of our removal spells, because his entire plan is going to be, how big can I pump this guy? He's going to search for the Daybreak Coronet, probably. That's the correct thing to go grab. Almost without a doubt. No, really. That's not an... Is that... Interesting. Now, do I play the 5/5 or do I play the sigil? Sigil. Sigil has the opportunity to get us a lot more later, and that's going to put out 5/5 flying angels every turn. Whenever we cast an enchantment, and we can cast one that gives all of our creatures Shroud next turn, and then puts out a 5/5 flyer. I mean, I don't think we're in a good position at all. Daybreak Coronet. Like, I don't know why you didn't equip that last turn. Enchanted creatures you control have Shroud. Okay. Yep. So I think without a doubt we lose this game. Oh, there's the Journey to Nowhere. Turn too late. Yep. Like, we could have done stupid stuff, too. Like, I do that and that. And I've got 10 damage on the field. Oh. If we could survive one turn, we would have been fine. It's just, he's got it, without a doubt. He just got those perfect enchantments, you know. So dumb. But, whatever. If we could have survived one turn, or if we would have gotten our journey one turn earlier, that we would have been fine. It's just, their deck is much better than that one. So, like, that's the reason I don't understand it. Like, if I was going to play an enchantment deck, it would be that mono white list, without a doubt. He's actually going to play a 60 card deck this time. That's good. He plays first. We're on the draw. We'll keep it. I know he's not playing the same deck. So, okay, cool. So let's, I just don't understand it. Like, if you're going to make a green-white enchantment deck and make it anywhere near as good as the other decks that you've made, like, why isn't, like, Glade Clover Scout in here? Why isn't there more than one ethereal armor? Why, like, it just blows my mind. Like, we didn't see any of our Quasali Pride Mages last game. Those would have helped out tremendously. Yeah, just weird. You gotta do 2 and 1 to me, please. Cool. Guess I'll just play another Quasali Pride Mage. Quasali Pride Mage. And then we hope for a land next turn. If we can get a land, we'll play the Enchantress and, like, throw an ethereal armor on it. If we can't, target player draws 3 cards. I will have Browbeat deal 5 damage to me. Okay, let's get that guy out there. Play that onto him. We'll draw a card. Play our land. And we'll attack for 4. And then he's probably gonna have to do something to kill my 3/3, and that's fine. We're okay with that. Because he's gonna have a hard time killing my Yep, pillar doesn't work. I'm sorry. Yep. Yep, that was Skype. I'm gonna have to go private on that, or do not disturb on that. So let's see. What do we want to do here? I think we give everybody +1/+1. Even if it's only +1/+1, like we know that he didn't have a heart or didn't have a way to kill the Quasali Pride Mage last turn, and now we got this, and we know that he doesn't have a way to. He shouldn't have a way to kill the now 5/5 Quasali Pride Mage. That is how we do that. Let's see. Let's see what else you can do. I don't think he wins this game. Searing Spear, Pillar. You do that. Now what we'll do is I'll play land. I will play this 9/9. I will sacrifice that enchantment at the beginning of my upkeep and kill him. And that should be the game. I don't think he has any outs whatsoever to deal with a 10/10. Especially since he just 2-for-1'd himself on the Quasali Pride Mage. Well, I guess it was technically a 2-for-2 because of the enchantment, but yeah, you can't target the 1/1, my friend. Ow. It hurts. Well, let's sacrifice an enchantment. And we'll attack with everybody. Including the 0/1. Including the 0/1. So I don't think it's the best deck. It's interesting, to say the least. But we'll end it there. Let me know what you guys think about the list. Let me know what changes you'd make. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.